good to be back. Back with two awesome friends. Mr. Joey D'Alessandro, Joey Balls. I don't know what you want me to call you here, but we'll figure it out. Whatever you want, my friend.
As long as you're
Joey
not calling
D?
me anything terrible, I'm good with whatever.
As long as I'm not calling you late for dinner?
That works.
Is that the same?
What even started the Joey Balls?
That was a Sports Zone thing. That was Alex.
Was it Alex?
That was Alex, yeah.
Alex. Shout out to Alex. I know he's out there still doing his thing, so gotta shout out Alex.
I don't know where it came from, but
The Joey Balls thing is definitely something that I think I think it's a nice throwback. But at the same time, we were like 28. Now we're 38. So we might have to grow out of the Joey Balls.
I agree.
Name.
I agree, but
Joey
it's kind of like
D
my
is
nickname was Chunk growing up, and it's just something you kind of like get past. So I agree. I just knew that was what I took over from way back when, which, by the way, got a throwback for you later on. Because we did something on this date, which is pretty funny, and it's quick, but 11 years ago.
11
so
years
that was
ago.
So we were studio days in Elizabeth.
Days, right?
Yeah, we were studio days in Elizabeth.
oh, those were the good days.
So
I mean, can we be honest though? The best part of those studio days was the fact that we basically had models walking past the door all freaking show.
it was fun for us.
I digress. But yeah, here we are, rocking and rolling. It's crazy to
Ready
think,
to die on this hill.
ready to die on this hill. Crazy to think we've got NBA playoffs coming up. We've got the NHL trade deadline coming up. NHL playoffs, opening day of baseball. And as our good friend Eric likes to say, nothing stops the Shield. And here we are, first full week of March, and the NFL is still dominating the headlines across the board. So many different things going on. Today was franchise tag deadline day. You had Jason Kelce, after a 13-year career, officially retire, which I may not be an Eagles fan, and their offensive line was probably their biggest strength. Now he is retired. They're going to be looking for their next person to fill those shoes, which those are really big shoes to fill. But just got to respect and acknowledge what a first ballot Hall of Fame career he had. And whatever he's going to be moving forward. I mean, I know, Eric, you're a big fan of the Kelce Brothers podcast.
Yeah, but this is where we're going to go way different here.
Okay.
This is where it's going to come off the tracks for you, because it's a sad day, I guess, for fans of the Kelce's that he's retiring. But I mean, come on. Is he going to eventually probably be in the Hall of Fame? Maybe.
What do you mean maybe?
I guess so.
6 of the last 7 years were all pros.
Yeah,
Definitely.
We've seen other linemen. I think he's a very, very good lineman.
Hall of Famer.
But that's because they have to induct X amount of people. We know that it's the Hall of the Very Good.
There it is. I was waiting for it.
It's not the Hall of Fame. It's the Hall of the Very Good. That's what it is. And he'll get in there. Trust me, he'll get in there. But as far as when I think I just don't think him. So I'm just...
Devin Hester got in as a first ballot Hall of Famer.
I'm not denying that he's getting in as a first ballot Hall of Famer, but I'm telling you, it's the Hall of the Very Good. They're gonna elect him no matter what.
Well, I think he's only one of two centers to have 6 All Pros.
Who's the other? Saturday?
Oh, no, it's not Saturday. It's like an older guy. I don't remember the name.
It'd probably go...
I'd probably take Jeff Saturday before I took Kelce.
Ooh. I think we could do a podcast just on that.
But but that's what I'm saying is there's a debate for it. Nobody's looking at him. I think people are looking at him in a different light because he's this time's sexiest man alive or whatever it is for this year. And it's the Kelce Brothers and their New Heights podcast. They're having a moment right now, and I'm not taking away their shine. Guy who's a great player for the Philadelphia Eagles. Not taking it away from him. But what I'm saying is I think the hype behind the retirement is just he's not Jordan. He's not...
No, you're definitely right about that. He's not Jordan. He's not a quarterback. He's not It's kind of weird that a center is having a press conference for a retirement. Normally it's like, all right, let me go on X or Twitter. Let me just post this and we're done. But he, in the community, Philadelphia Eagle fans love him. And like you just said, the last year or two, he's gotten a lot of fame and hype, especially being the sexiest man alive. So I think Philadelphia just said, hey, we're going to let you go. We're going to get a big hit with this. It's going to be cool for the fans, so let's do it. And he was super emotional. He did a great job with his speech and whatnot.
Well, plus, I mean, I guess his wife was going to disown him if he went to any other team, too. Because apparently she was already threatening to, like, oh, I'm never wearing another jersey. it's Philadelphia. I'm an Eagle for whatever she was screaming. Good for her. I guess she got her way. Her man's retiring. And listen, he's going to retire with a boatload of money and a great new future in broadcasting ahead of him.
Absolutely.
Because I'm sure some TV network's going to scoop him up. He's going to keep his podcast going. His brother's still playing another year, so now you're going to have the inside track on pretty much everything Travis Kelce next year. So I think he's in a really good position to just have a really fun next year. I think he's gonna have a good first year retirement, and I think he's gonna enjoy it, and he should. But is he the greatest? Is he the GOAT retiring right now at lineman? No. So I'm not gonna hype it like it is.
But that's a whole different level of conversation to be like, is he the GOAT of offensive linemen? What we can say is that over the last decade plus, there are very few centers, or even just, let's say, interior offensive linemen, left guard, right guard, or center, that were better than him over the last decade. There are very, very few you could say that about. And with how he played, his consistency, and let's be honest, as a center, you're reading the defense with the quarterback. You're calling out protections. So that means when you are the center of one of, if not the best offensive line in football for several years during your career, that means you are impacting a lot more than just the guy you're blocking.
Riddle me this, though, Batman. You're a Cowboy fan, right? In recent memory, I can remember it wasn't too long ago when they had Tyron Smith and a bunch of other people, and they were considered the best offensive line. That was, 2 years ago? So, I mean, honestly, how long has he been? They've been the great offensive line of the Philadelphia. There have been many years.
For a while.
It's actually been about 4 or 5 years, ever since Travis Frederick retired, who was the other center at the time that you would have put up there with Jason Kelce. Once Frederick retired, that's when Philadelphia, without a doubt, overtook Dallas as the best offensive line in the NFL, at least NFC, whatever. Like when Frederick retired, which is something Cowboys fans are still devastated by. And just to bring this full circle, Dallas did not tag Tyler Biadasz, or however you say his last name. And I would not be shocked if that's the guy the Eagles go sign to be their next starting offensive lineman in 2024 at the center position. So just to bring everything full circle, but I do think, A, Jason Kelce's a first ballot Hall of Famer. B, I think he's been arguably one of the best offensive linemen across the board, especially interior offensive linemen for the last 8 to 10 years. And I think the guy deserves his flowers, and I'm going to give them to him, even though he played for the Eagles. So I was happy as hell he retired because, and even as a Giants fan, I mean, whoever they bring in, Dexter Lawrence is going to teach that person lessons. Mm-hmm. So as a Giants fan, you got to enjoy knowing that reality is going to take place. And I think we can all agree in this room, it will be a lot of fun watching Jalen Hurts run for his life, because and you got to keep him in the pocket, so it's just going to be so much fun watching 300-pound men just collapse on him and watch the Eagles just crumble again. I am so looking forward to it. That's a whole nother story. We'll save that for August, but anyway.
I think that's a Dallas fan. The way a Dallas fan thinks in March and April.
I got nothing else. Dallas ain't doing shit with anything else. Letting Tyron Smith go, letting the center go. Haven't given CeeDee Lamb an extension. Haven't give Dak Prescott an extension. And, a month and a half ago, Jerry Jones, we're all in this offseason. Shut the front door.
Did Dallas tag anybody?
Nope.
Nobody.
I don't think the Giants did either, right? I don't think they would tag McKinney or
No, they didn't tag
Barkley.
anybody.
Nope. There was a lot less tags than was expected.
The Jaguars did Josh Allen.
The defensive end, because there's
Yes.
Josh Allen at
Well, it's in
Buffalo.
the Jaguars.
I know, but I'll never forget. Was it like 2 years ago when Josh Allen of the Jaguars not only sacked Josh Allen of the Bills, but he also intercepted Josh Allen of the Bills? That was one of the greatest experiences I ever saw. It was Josh Allen sacking Josh Allen. I'll never get over that. What a great day. Sorry. But yeah.
Giants should have drafted Josh Allen.
Yes, they should have.
And Josh Allen.
Oh my God.
That'd be great.
The marketing you could do with that as a team if you had 2 Josh Allens. Oh my God. You know what that makes me think of? Remember back in the day, the double mint gum
That would be a good
commercials
double
where they always
gum.
had like the twins in it. Oh my God. Anyway.
So I also saw Carolina, they tagged Brian Burns.
Yep.
Do you think that they should have maybe traded him a couple years ago when the Rams wanted to give him like 2-3 first round picks for him?
Well,
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
at this point, where
What else are you doing? And now you tagged him when, to be honest, the way that pass rushers have been coming in the league, the way the league's changed, I don't know how expensive that position needs to be. So I don't know if I would have tagged him. Like, I know he's had a bunch of sacks, 49 over the last 5 seasons or somewhere like that. But I don't know. To me, when I think of defenses, he's not a guy that instantly comes to mind. And I know he's played great, but at the same time, I just don't think he was worth giving the tag to. I think you could have tried to either re-sign him. If you didn't re-sign him, then sorry, or you should have traded him when you had the chance.
Your thoughts on Giants not tagging anybody?
I get why they didn't tag Barkley. It's way too much. There's tons of running backs out there.
Yeah, this is going to be a flooded running back market. Swift.
There's a Swift, Barkley now, Jacobs,
Addison,
Alexander Madison.
Yeah.
There's so many running backs out there, plus whatever's coming out in the draft.
Yeah.
So, it's really devalued the position. Is it worth tagging Barkley for another $12.5 million? Probably not. If you could sign him long term and he's serious about being there, I honestly think 3 years, $6 million, guarantee it all. That's $18 million. Take it or leave it. That's where I'm at with Barkley.
Wow.
I think he's worth it to guarantee it. So I'm not saying he's got to play for the incentives to get to the $6 million. Just guarantee it. Because listen, to be honest, these guys want guaranteed money. Lamar Jackson, he's getting paid less money than Daniel Jones. Why? Because he wanted guaranteed money. Daniel Jones isn't always guaranteed. At the back end of his deal, Daniel Jones done. He's getting cut after this year.
Oh,
he's not
100%.
worth $42 million a year or
100%.
whatever. And I think as it goes on, the last year of the deal, he'd be worth $46 million, something like that. They'd be absolutely absurd. You can't do it. So I'm glad they didn't tag anybody. Although McKinney or Xavier McKinney.
Yeah, Xavier McKinney. Yep.
I might have thought about it. I think he's a really solid piece on the defense. I think he maybe 1 year, and then see if he could work out something long term.
Well, the talks with McKinney was that they were going to put the transition tag on him. So that meant other teams could extend offers, but the Giants would have the option to match that offer. What I found out today, actually, on my ride here.
One person was hit with that. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good. What I found out on the ride here is that, ironically enough, McKinney's agent is the same agent that Landon Collins had.
Oh, interesting.
So, a very similar experience that the Giants had with Landon Collins. McKinney played like 92% of defensive snaps. So, when you think about something like that, that's a key cog to your defense. And I think the only excuse that they have for not putting any type of tag on him is the idea that they brought in a new defensive coordinator. So no matter what you do, you're going to have somebody learn a new defense. So maybe why not start with a guy on a rookie deal or a smaller deal that maybe adapts or fits that scheme better than McKinney would fit that scheme. That's the only thing I could think of that would really give a real fair justification for not putting some type of tag on him.
How about that D, baby?
Yeah, how about that, D, Andy? That's what we're talking about here.
Kid in the candy store. I told
Joey.
Joey.
I can't not play with buttons.
I told Joey when we got off the phone, when we got off with you last week, I'm like, Joey, wait till you see him in person. Like, Eric is the happiest I've seen him since the first time we went to the studio. Actually, no, that's a lie. His wedding day definitely was a very happy man. So, Janice, if you can hear us, he was just as happy. Maybe your wedding was one big. I don't know, but I'll let you two talk that one out.
This is right up there. You know, it's a kid in a candy store, dude. Every time we're up here, every time we get to do this, it's an absolute awesome time. And I learn new stuff every time too, and yeah,
Go nuts with it, bro.
absolutely,
Figure it all out.
absolutely. Speaking of figuring it out, that brings me to the knuckleheaded news of the week, and that being. How about the Broncos? How can you cut Russell Wilson and eat $85 million in dead cap? I mean, the dead cap hit money on him is the most, by far, I mean, more than double, I think, what it previously was. And I think he has 3 out of, like, the top 6 all-time dead cap hit records. It is absurd. What is going on with the Broncos, and how are people not fired? What is John Elway doing? Is he still running the show there? Who is running the show? Because they need to be fired. What is going on? I don't understand it. And how this GM has not only lasted this, but he was the guy who hired Nathaniel Hackett.
Oof.
You got this guy still on the payroll after those 2 blunders? Dude, I think I saved the photo. The amount of shit that they gave up
They
to
gave
get
up
him was
a first and a second in 2022, I believe. A first and a second in 2023, and 3 players, right?
yeah.
Noah Fant, Drew Lock, and I forget the other one.
Yeah. No, you're 100% right. But that's what it was. That haul, and then you pay him $234 million
that
guaranteed,
was the thing.
And then you're going
They gave
to
him the
eat
extension.
this money. This is a epic fail that I don't know how anybody gets up off the mat from. You've got to explain this to me.
Plain and simple, if Russell Wilson's on the team by March 17th, by league year, 2025 is guaranteed as well. That's why he's not on the team.
He's not going to be on anybody's team.
And also keep in mind the dead money that they have. Whatever another team pays him comes off of that dead money.
That's
They're
why he's
paying him league minimum.
Yeah, any
I
team's
don't
going to
think
pay.
so. I think there's gonna be at least one team that's gonna offer him a contract.
No way.
The Falcons, the Vikings.
Make your point to die on this hill, please, because I got to hear it. You got to show me because he's aging.
I will
He
die.
sucks. He brings baggage. What you got to come on, die on it. Let's go. Plant the flag.
I will literally die on the hill that Russell Wilson signs a bare minimum 2-year, $40 million a year contract.
Wow.
I will die on that hill right
tortilla
now.
slap on it. Tortilla slap on it.
I will let both of you slap me with a tortilla.
Yo, Joey, you're in on this too. Let's shake on that.
Handshake. 2 years.
40
million each year, so that let's say a 2-year, $80 million, and let's say no less than $35 million guaranteed. Dying on that hill. Give me the Falcons, the Vikings. If the Bears,
And you're saying when is this going to be by? Before league?
He will be on a roster signed to a starting quarterback contract before this offseason is over, and will be a starting quarterback for a team in the NFL
By training camp.
By training camp.
I agree with everything he said, minus the 2-year, $40 million.
He'll be on a team, but it'll be somebody else. It'll be the Broncos paying because somebody's going to sign him league minimum.
Yep.
That's what's going to
what I think
happen.
too.
And you're about to get a double tortilla slap. And I mean,
or we're getting slapped, but I don't think that's happening.
I don't think that's happening. But it would be funny to see Dave swinging 2 tortillas at once.
No, I will be honest. We would do one at a time because if I try to do both, I'm either royally missing or I'm going to overhit and it's going to be open hand and our friendships are going to come into question.
Never.
Not trying to do that. So if I do win, maybe what we'll do is we line you two up so I can just one slap and get both y'all.
There we go.
Or do like the bitch slap where you go back and forth like that. But 2 years, bare minimum. And whatever he signs will average out to around $40 million a year.
Okay. I don't think so, homie. I don't think so.
I was gonna say,
what
I
about
left
your
him
Jets?
speechless.
No. Why would he go to? Why
They got
would
Rodgers.
he's looking for a starting role. He's not going to go to the Jets to be
No,
a
no,
backup.
no. I'm not saying where is he going. I'm saying let's get off Wilson because he's going somewhere. Unless you guys want to talk about where is that what we're doing? Talking about where he's going?
He can go.
I already threw out where
I
I
can
think-
see New England,
I
to
think
be
number
honest.
one is Atlanta.
I think it's New England. I could see him being a bridge quarterback to like Drake May, or I think they're going to draft a quarterback in New England. That's why I could see Russell Wilson going there for a year.
It's just not a New England move. Unless Gerard Mayo is going to go way off the tracks here and just do his own thing, which he might. He might. But I just don't see that as a landing spot.
Okay.
If Cousins goes somewhere else, I could see him in Minnesota.
I could see that too.
My
Same.
top two would be Minnesota or Atlanta.
I can see
Atlanta
that as well.
There is not a single player
can see
on
Atlanta,
that
too.
Atlanta roster that is actually on a big contract.
Yeah.
Every one of their key players is on a rookie
So
contract.
why would you pay Russell Wilson a
Because
big
you
contract?
have the cap space. Why wouldn't
Just
you?
because you have it doesn't mean you should waste it.
It's also in the league, in the collective bargaining agreement in the league that every team has to spend a bare minimum of 70% of their salary.
But you're telling me you couldn't find better ways to spend it?
I could see them going trading
Why
for
not?
Justin Fields. Why not?
Yeah,
doing that?
to be
Take a
honest,
second.
I would rather take Justin Fields than I would take.
Same.
Age-wise, if nothing
Same.
else, at least there's upside with Fields. There's no upside. The best of Wilson is gone.
God, I agree with that.
I won't argue that. But he's still better than the back half of the league in quarterbacks.
I don't know if I
No.
agree with that
I
anymore.
put him in the middle.
I'm with Dave on that.
I'll be
around
honest.
I'd put him in the
this
middle.
is this is how bad I think he is. And I'm a Giant fan, but you guys know my feelings on Daniel Jones. I think Daniel Jones is a better quarterback. I'd rather have Daniel
No,
Jones.
I'd rather give me Russell Wilson over
I
Daniel
would
Jones.
rather
die on
have.
that hill?
I will die on that
No
hill.
way.
I would rather
Wait,
have
so
Daniel Jones.
Eric's die on that hill for this show is that at the end of 2024, Daniel Jones statistically has a better season than Russell Wilson.
No, because he's come back off injury and he may not start the season, so he may not finish. Same stats. Can't say that. What I will say is overall, if you gave me the choice between the two, I would take Daniel Jones.
All right, what about Madden rating when the new Madden comes out in August? You think Daniel Jones will have a higher Madden rating?
Yes.
that actually
Speed,
might be.
arm strength.
That might be.
I'm
Yeah.
talking overall.
We're talking
Yeah,
Madden.
which takes
everything
everything they put.
into account. Yes, because what point are you giving Russell Wilson?
Accuracy.
What do
Other
you
than,
do?
other than he won
Jones. He
can throw
championships
the-
with Seattle back whenever, what else has Russell?
Dude.
What have you done for me lately?
He's talking to the guy.
The last 2
he's
years,
talking to
you're
the guy
right.
that knows
But he
Madden.
was a Hall of Famer up until he went to Denver. Will you say that?
No, because
You don't think
his
so?
last year in Seattle
Bro,
was
he's the
atrocious.
only quarterback in NFL history with 40,000 throwing yards and 5,000 rushing yards. That only quarterback
They're
in NFL
gonna put
history.
him in the Hall of the Very Good as well.
Yeah, we know that. Especially as a Super Bowl champion, there's no way he's not getting in.
I had to.
It's like Eli. Eli's
Just
getting
like
in.
Eli.
Eli's getting in, but
Just
again,
like
I think
Eli.
Eli's great. I think he's one of the greatest. I think he's
No,
in.
he's not.
He's up there.
I've literally said this for years.
To be the best, you got to
Okay.
beat the best, and he beat Tom Brady twice in the Super Bowl
yo,
Nick
in the
Foles
biggest
beat
game.
Brady in the Super Bowl.
They're the only two quarterbacks ever to do it. They're the only two quarterbacks, but Eli did it twice.
Look, I've said this about.
And they were undefeated. 18 wins, 1 giant loss, baby.
Can you tell he's a Giant fan?
God.
Oh, man.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm jealous that they do get to say that.
Hell
though, 'cause
yeah.
That is no matter how rough it has been since 2011, and I know that's not the win you're talking about, right? But no matter how rough it's been since 2011 for the Giants, you can always go back to that 07 year and rest your hat on that as a Giants fan. If you were born
That was a magical year, man.
1990 or earlier, you can rest your hat on that 07 Super Bowl win, and they could never win another one the rest of your lifetime, and you can still look back and be very proud of that moment. But I have always said this about Eli Manning. He was one of the most average regular season quarterbacks I have ever seen win a
'Cause he
Super Bowl.
only-
Look at his stats, Eric.
let me
Look at
finish.
his
But let me
stats.
finish. One of the most average regular season quarterbacks I've ever seen in my life that has gone on to win not one, but 2 Super Bowls. Because I will take Peyton Manning, Eli Manning. You give me regular season Eli Manning every day regular season Peyton Manning every day over regular season Eli Manning. I will take playoff Eli Manning over playoff Peyton Manning
anytime.
All day, every day.
Eli, to me, same thing. He was an average regular season quarterback. Because if he was an amazing one, they would have went to the playoffs every single year. You would have won the division and went almost every year. You didn't. Big games? Eli is a big game quarterback, bro. There's not many that are better. That's when he thrived. He would step up and play damn near perfect in these games, bro. So yeah, Eli's a great big game quarterback, but without those two Super Bowls, he's an average quarterback.
But to bring us back here,
yeah,
Russell Wilson, he's got 2 Super Bowls, but to be honest, he's got 2, I think, right? He lost the other one?
He won. Yeah, he won.
He's got 1.
One and lost.
He lost 2, yeah.
He beat Peyton Manning and the Broncos
so
at
MetLife.
He
won at MetLife.
So wait,
and they whooped their ass.
So not big game Russell.
I mean, they should have won the one against the Patriots, but they call a fucking pass play on 1st and goal.
Exactly, and that's what I'm talking about.
That's
you should have given it to, and this will come in handy later, Beast Mode.
That's on the coach.
Should have gave it to Beast Mode, but the problem is Russell Wilson couldn't win the game for him.
No,
he didn't win the game for him.
They wouldn't even have been in that position if it wasn't for that insane pass and crazy ass catch that they had.
But how about the interception in the end zone?
Correct. Can't argue
Trump
with that.
card.
But that's not his call. That's Pete Carroll. Carroll should have just said beast mode.
He literally called the play and threw the ball to who he was supposed to throw the ball to. And Malcolm Butler was playing the run and just attacked the ball. I will not put, there are interceptions I will put on quarterbacks, and then there are interceptions I will not. And that interception was a hell of a play by Malcolm Butler and a horrible play call by their offense coordinator, Pete Carroll, whoever the hell made that decision.
Did he have he couldn't have optioned out of it? Couldn't have got out of that?
How are we supposed to know?
Couldn't have superseded in the huddle and gone, you know what, guys? This looks a little stupid when we got beast mode here. What? How about we just switch this? You want the ball? Skittles. And you just hand the ball off. It's that simple.
No, you're not wrong, Eric. You're not wrong. But I will say this about Russell Wilson.
That's what a big game quarterback would have done. That's what somebody who was thinking ahead would have done. That's what somebody who goes, okay, this is dumb. We need to win. And he just went with the play. And again, plausible deniability. That's fine. It's plausible deniability. But it doesn't show me that he's big game. It doesn't show me he's big time, and that's where I'm not giving him big money.
I will give you one stat for Russell Wilson about last year. Led the NFL in fourth quarter comebacks. There you go.
He was
there you go. There you go.
I'll give you that one, but simultaneously, he was also a huge reason that they were trailing when they got into the fourth quarter. I mean, it is a double-edged sword.
He's not the reason why they were down.
Go see how bad he was.
I think he almost had 30 touchdowns and 10 picks.
Their last 8-10 games, he actually played some pretty decent football. They actually played pretty well. But, look.
Oh, my God.
I'm not getting slapped with a tortilla. I'm very, very confident.
I think this year Russell's just
I'm going to make sure it's a warm one this time.
He's 26 touchdowns and 8 picks this year. He had a 98 quarterback rating. He's not the reason why they were in
26 and 8. That's average at best nowadays.
The 26 picks is
26 touchdowns, 8 picks. 8 picks is tough.
8 picks isn't bad, but I'm just saying 26 TDs. Look it up. Where was he last year compared to the rest of the quarterbacks?
Yeah, 3-to-1 ratio when it comes down to your touchdown to interception. Most fans would take that.
What do you guys think about the Colts, by the way, while he's looking up Russell Wilson here? What do you think of the Colts tagging for $21.8 million Michael Pittman?
I like that move.
No way. That's a lot of money.
Justin Jefferson's going to get over $30 million.
He deserves it. To
I'm
me,
not
Michael
arguing that,
Pittman
but Michael
is not
Pittman's a
Justin
solid
Jefferson.
receiver. He's
Solid, but 21 million,
Yeah.
22 million
That's
solid.
$10 million less than what the top guy's making. Yeah, I think that's sliding pretty
Pittman
good.
came up big too once Anthony.
When you're not
Exactly.
willing, when you're
Yeah.
not willing to give Saquon 10 a year, I'm sorry, I'm not giving Michael Pittman 22.
Well, yeah.
So so where's he at here? Come on, we're
right now,
sorting it by TD.
right now
or
it's
you-
organized by yards.
So do it by TD.
Oh, you want touchdowns? I did picks.
Yeah. Let's see where Russell Wilson landed.
And now, it's complete silence as we look
All
at
right,
this.
here we go. So Russell Wilson is
One behind Patrick Mahomes
this year.
with
1,
6
2,
less
3,
interceptions.
He's what,
4,
10th?
5, 6, 7, 8. He's 9th. So he's top 10 in touchdowns this year.
9th.
Top 10 in touchdowns
Yeah, but
and picks.
And he
led the.
He was tied for the least.
with what, 4 other QBs?
Oh yeah! Wow. No.
I can't do it. I don't know how to really.
There's too many.
But he's one of the league leaders with picks too, bro. It wasn't his fault this year.
I mean, he
Again-
had 2 more. He had 1 more touchdown. He had 1 less touchdown than Mahomes.
Again, he'd be a
and
nice
six-
fit
and
in Minnesota.
1
Not
less
arguing that.
touchdown than Mahomes and 6 less interceptions.
Maybe, I mean, where else? Again, I don't know where else he can land.
Atlanta is the perfect landing spot for him.
I think that's a perfect landing spot for Justin Fields.
I heard-
That's
Look,
what
As
I
a
think.
guy
they
that
want
can
J.J.
keep
McCarthy,
Justin
which is
Fields
crazy
in
to
his
me.
fantasy team this year, I would love Justin Fields to go to Atlanta.
Yeah,
But
Justin
Chicago
Fields
to
would
be
But I mean, you
Stupid
figure because he
stupid
can
to
take a
trade
little
him.
bit of pressure off of Bijan Robinson. Bijan Robinson, he can
Yeah,
take a little
Bijan.
bit. He could.
He's got Drake. He's got Kyle Pitts.
He's got weapons. It makes sense.
It does, but if I'm Chicago, I'd rather draft a Marvin Harrison with the 1 and then get an offensive lineman with the 9 and build around Fields.
I get what you're saying, but
They're not doing that though.
They're not. You got another opportunity.
They've already pretty much committed to trading him.
And this is a second opportunity to reset the quarterback clock. That's why they're going to take the quarterback.
I don't know. I don't think that's smart GMing.
I'm
if that's
kind of
even
with
word.
you on that, just because also you're starting off, Caleb, with this head coach in Eberflus, right? That's his name,
Yep.
Eberflus, who's, I would think he's on the hot seat. So
I would
if he has a
completely
crappy
agree.
year this year, he's going to have a new head coach, another new offensive coordinator. So maybe you're right, Dave. Maybe they should stick with Fields, and if it all goes to crap, then they blow it all up.
And if it goes to crap, guess what? They're going to have another top 5 pick next year.
Well, let me ask you this: I guess they got a young guy coming off an injury though. But would Russell Wilson be a place that you would put Richardson, or with the Colts?
I mean, if he's going to take that vet minimum you think he's going to take, but he's not.
No, I think they want Richardson to go. I really think Russell Wilson wants to be a starting quarterback this year. I don't think he wants
And
to
he is going to be, and I'll be slapping
slapping tortillas.
tortillas.
He's not. He's not. Listen,
all right, look,
we all agree he's
time
getting
will
signed.
tell.
We all agree he's getting signed somewhere. We're
Yep.
just Joey and I have a way different opinion on.
How much money he's going to
We
get.
basically got 4 months.
There's one more opinion though we want to get. And it's Mr. Eric Pfeiffer, who's playing for Team Red tonight in the playoffs, by the way. I didn't tell you this
Oh,
yet.
shit, all
They're
right.
the 2 seed going against 3 seed. So he's calling on his way in. I want to know where he lands, where he thinks Russell Wilson's going to land. Let's get him in here. How you doing tonight, Mr. Eric Pfeiffer? Hello, sir.
Technical difficulties, but that's okay.
Yeah.
We will get with him in one moment. Anybody check out the Combine this weekend?
Hell no.
No.
No,
Well,
that was garbage.
I just saw somebody broke the record for the 40, right?
4.21.
That's
Wide
crazy,
receiver out of Texas. But the worst
Xavier
part is
something,
they
Howard?
showed the top 10 40-yard dashes of all time. And I don't even think 3 of them had a career that lasted beyond their rookie contract.
Oh, yeah, like John Ross.
He's in jail.
Oh, dang.
Right?
Do we have you back, sir?
I'm here.
Yeah.
And he's back. Where's Russell Wilson
How's it
landing?
going?
Good. Give you a
Seattle.
little intro.
No, I'm just kidding.
Imagine if he went back.
Wherever he's going, I don't know where he's going, but wherever he's going, I guarantee he signs for league minimum on a 1-year prove it.
That's what we said. Dave, we have a tortilla slap bet with Dave, a double tortilla slap, with Dave saying that he thinks that the Falcons, Vikings, or some other team is going to sign Russell Wilson to a minimum 2-year, $40 million with 35 of it guaranteed contract. And we're trying to tell him he's out of his mind, because why would any team do that when the Broncos are already footing the bill?
Oh. Fife.
I think we lost him again.
It's all good.
It was nice while we had him.
Good luck if you could hear us.
Offer him that, then.
Oh.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Now you're back. You cut out there.
I said, no, all I said was, he's going to go wherever he wants, and he's going to do it for a low price because he can, because he's getting paid by Denver, right? So if one of those teams is dumb enough to give him a 2-year deal for $35 million guaranteed, then that's their problem. But I just don't see it happening.
I don't see it happening either. It doesn't make sense.
The Giants could sign him at league minimum.
You're about to.
You're about to, bro.
You're
You're about to.
Buried in tortillas. Buried in tortillas.
Dave. Okay.
Yeah, listen. I gotta add to this. Like, all right, getting slapped with the tortilla is great. The sound's great, but you gotta rub some sour cream on that thing or something, bro. We can't just have a plain tortilla.
No, handshakes already happened. He forgot to take off.
Chipmunks are still going. This is wild.
Oh, Fife, what a great show to call into. Team Red, baby, let's go.
Yeah. We're 2 seed playing a 3 seed.
Let's go. Rooting for
So,
you. Will you shut that
see how
damn
it goes.
thing off? Oh my God! All right, Fife, let's hear you, bro. You were trying to go somewhere else with the Russell Wilson talk. What you got for us?
Nah.
Sorry.
Fife, were you driving to the game? Or you like in the subway or something?
Yeah, I think we lost.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like he's still connected, but we're cutting in and out.
Oh, he's
No,
back.
kind of, sort of back.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, man, we got you.
All right, man. T-Mobile through the town I live in is rough in some places, but I'm about to park outside the liquor store and talk to you guys for a little bit before I go get beers for the game. Playoffs or not, I got to have a couple before I go in there.
Got to be in the right mindset.
Yeah, man, you got to loosen up a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, listen. What is this? Now, is this a over 18 league? Is this a more adult league? What kind of league we talking about here, real quick?
It used to be 35 and over, but then they changed it to 30 and over, so it got faster. My 40-year-old fat ass has to keep up with 30-year-olds. It's interesting.
Well, good luck to you,
It's
sir.
interesting.
Any other
10 years
thoughts
makes a
on
difference.
the tags today or non-tags? I know we already talked some Giants. I don't know if you have any thoughts on McKinney or Barkley or any of the other tags going on. I didn't agree with the Michael Pittman tag from the Colts. I think almost $22 million, way too much for Michael Pittman.
I agree with that.
That's just my opinion. I don't know where you stand. I don't know what you saw today. And then there's one other thing I want to talk to you about real quick after that.
Yeah, I mean, if I can go Giants, I'll go. I expected the McKinney tag. I didn't think they were going to tag Barkley his second year. But I think what's going to happen is he's going to hit free agency. He said he wants to be a Giant. I don't know if anything else has popped off news-wise since the non-tag happened. But I'm pretty sure what he's going to do is he's going to go out. He's going to test the market, and he's going to give the Giants a chance to match whatever his top offer is. And whether or not they do that, I don't know. But I'm confident that he's going to at least give the franchise a chance to match whatever his offer is.
All right. I can. I hope that's what happens. I'm hoping
I
that
think
they
so.
match. I hope they match. At least match.
I think, they've been talking about how a lot of positive things have come out of the meetings. Now that could just be PR bullshit or whatever, but
No, I like.
honestly,
I'm with you. I like what I'm hearing out of everything going on.
yeah. So I think that's what it is. I think they're going to let him test free agency. They're going to say, listen, come back to us with your best deal. And we'll, if we're willing to match it and you want to stay here, then we'll do that. But we don't know what to offer you. So let's see what the market is.
All right. Any thoughts on the Kelsey retirement?
No, I think it was expected. 13 years playing that position is long enough.
How the Eagles
He had a
going to
good, he had a good run.
Tush push now. He was the whole force behind it.
He was. They're gonna have to find a new
tushy
to push.
Well, that's the thing, and I hate the Eagles, but like everybody was complaining, that should be. Well, nobody else could run it right. There's a reason they were so good at it. It's because their quarterback can leg press 10,000 pounds, and their center can get lower than anybody in front of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, people don't like it because they're the only one. If everyone could do it and everybody just gained a yard off of it, then I could see them taking it out of the league. But if only one team can pull it off, there's a reason for that. It's because they're good at it. And I hate the Eagles.
Well, hopefully they become less good at it.
Yeah,
Dave has some breaking news.
Oh shit! Yeah, no, I just sorry, Fife. Something that I think all like just considering where we're at and the topics we're covering. It was just announced a little bit ago, maybe about an hour. I gotta actually find it again because I just started scrolling looking for other news. By the way, Devils down 2-1 right now. But the Seahawks have released.
Sign Russell Wilson.
No. They released Jamal Adams, Quandre Diggs, and Will Disley.
Yeah, he's the tight end.
Tight end, yeah.
So one guy tweeted it. He's like, in baseball terms, the Seahawks are just going to wear it this year. I like that.
I saw that earlier today. Also, I thought it was interesting that ESPN broke the Russell Wilson getting cut thing as breaking news when we all knew it was going to happen in week 14 last year. What kind of breaking news is that?
Or like during the weekend,
exactly.
Or during the weekend at the combine when the GM of the Broncos was like, "We'll know what we're going to do with Russell in the next week or two," and everybody's like, "Well, that's not a ringing endorsement that you're going to keep him on your team." So, yes, he's being.
No, we all knew.
Yeah,
and then. The only other thing out of the combine is there's a quarterback out of Tennessee. I mentioned this in the text message chat. If the Giants are going to draft a quarterback, I want them to take the guy who's throwing 70-yard bombs that the receivers can't keep up with in the 5th or 6th round. Because you guys know, I said this a few weeks ago, I think the quarterback that's going to stick in this draft is none of these highly touted guys. I feel like they're highly touting these guys just to get ratings for the draft. I think they all suck. But I think somebody in the 4th, 5th, or 6th round is going to be the guy who sticks with the franchise for maybe 5, 6, 7 years. That's my prediction in this draft.
I mean, I can't act like I know enough about the back end. I just know like the idea of trading up for like J.J. McCarthy seems a little asinine to me.
Me too.
And I know some people have talked about the Giants trying to take him.
What's he?
So
terrible.
The Giants are at 6?
Yeah. I've heard those rumors too, and I got to be honest, not interested in it.
It'd be Daniel Jones all over again with less
2.0.
Yeah.
And then, so if they do that, I have full faith in management, Joe Shane, all those guys, Brian Dable. If they do that, I lose 100% faith in them, 100%, until I'm proven wrong. I go back to
that enough people
may as well be
for
Dave
quarterbacks.
Gettleman.
I'm hoping enough people fight for the quarterbacks at the top of the draft that a guy like, was it Alt from Notre Dame, the offensive tackle, falls, or Marvin Harrison Jr. Those are probably the only two guys I would look at. And for a while, I was really only saying Marvin Harrison, but I'm looking at it, and you got to build on the line too. The
Neighbors?
I don't want him. If I'm not getting Marvin
Odunze.
Harrison Jr. is the number one guy in the
plays
draft.
for LSU.
I agree,
He's an
100%.
Alabama fan. He
I
does not
understand
want
that.
anybody from LSU.
No,
on
that's
his
not
team.
true. That's not true.
He had Odell Beckham on his team.
Yeah.
He's
I'm
from
fine.
LSU.
I'm fine. Listen, I love anybody coming from the SEC because I know you played tough competition.
Correct.
So I'm down for anybody in the SEC, but at the same time, Marvin Harrison Jr. is the best player in this draft. That's
I think
hands down. So if you can get him, if somehow people are stupid enough to go after May and go after Williams and go after Daniels and go after McCarthy, well, guess what? There's only 2 more spots. So if somebody takes the offensive lineman or does whatever stupid, there's a chance in a prayer is out there that somehow Marvin Harrison Jr. can fall to. Outside of that or all, I'm out. I want to trade back. I want to get picks, and I want to see what we can develop.
So I'm going to go the other route. If I'm Joe Shane, I'm giving up this year's first round pick, next year's first round pick, maybe a third, and maybe even another first round pick to move up to first and take Marvin Harrison Jr. I think he's that much of a generational talent. Sell the fucking farm. I'm in.
And this is coming from a Penn State fan who, watches a lot of Ohio State, but doesn't really like a lot of Ohio State. So this is high praise coming from a guy who watches a lot of Big Ten football.
This kid's the real deal.
Yeah.
I remember they were saying...
And he's been primed for it his whole life.
They were saying last year that he could probably be number ones on most NFL teams, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people were saying that if he went declared for the draft last year, he would have been a top 3 to 5 pick. He's
the best player in the draft.
Yeah, he's special. And he's only going to get better. That's actually the scariest part. Like, once he actually starts playing NFL football and gets into NFL weight rooms and NFL coaches. And
it's all in where you get drafted, though. And if he goes to a toxic Bears situation, or if he goes to... I'm trying to think who else is drafting up towards the top.
Washington.
They need a quarterback.
Arizona.
Washington's another candidate for Russell Wilson.
Oh, yeah.
That's true, too, actually.
If they do that, then they would probably go Marvin Harrison to give him a weapon. And I mean, he's an unbelievable weapon. You put him and then McLaurin, and then you start adding up the pieces. They got Dotson and then Robinson, and they could have a really, really sick offense. So I'm not discounting that at all. So it could, maybe that's what happens, but like I said, I'm hoping he falls. He probably won't.
All right, I got to run into this liquor store quick, so I'm pretty sure, not to move you along or anything, but I'm pretty sure you wanted to talk about a certain situation.
Yeah, I wanted to mention real quick, we do have multiple Devils fans, right? You're a Devils fan, I'm a Devils fan.
Oh, God. You hear what I have to deal with?
And I'm wondering what you think of the Devils firing their head coach as our head hockey guru.
Before I get into that, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to know that Eric is not a Devils fan. He's not allowed to be.
I agree.
So
why can't I like
that.
two teams?
I concur.
You can't like those two teams. You might as well like the Red Sox and the Yankees.
Like I said, if you look around, I got signed Brodeur jerseys. I got all sorts of things hanging up here. I got more Devil stuff than I got Ranger stuff.
That's memorabilia. That's memorabilia. You could have a Big Papi jersey too.
They're playing that.
You could have a Big Papi jersey too. Nah. Dude, I'm so far into it. People ask me, what would you do if your son ended up being a really good hockey player and got drafted to the Rangers? I said, well, every time they played the Devils, I'd be wearing a Devils jersey. People think I'm nuts.
You're Travis Kelce's wife.
I'd say he'd understand.
You're Mrs. Kelce right now.
Well, this is my son. This isn't my brother-in-law.
No. I'm saying that because that was the thing is Jason Kelce's wife that's part of the reason I think he retired is she was refusing to wear any other jersey or support any other team other than the Philadelphia Eagles. Because she grew up in that area. So she wouldn't even put on his jersey. Even if she had a Kelce jersey and he was playing for,
Right, but I'm talking about my
Titans, son. I know.
I see. So even if he was playing elsewhere, I got you. Yeah, no, if he gets drafted to the Rangers, I'm going with the Devils jersey. As far as the Lindy Ruff thing goes, I don't blame any of this season on him. I actually give him credit for the overachievement of last season. And the only thing I really want to say about it is shit rolls downhill. So somebody had to get canned for. Somebody had to take accountability for it. And it's usually, generally, always the head coach. 90% of the time, 100% of the time, it's the head coach. So I don't know. Shit rolls downhill, man. That's all I can say. I think that's what it is. I can't blame him for his top players being hurt for a lot of the season. That's where a lot of people are pointing the finger, as the GM because he didn't put they let Ryan Graves go. They let Severson go. So two of their top blue liners. And then you had Hamilton hurt half the year. So there's 3 of your top blue liners out. You had goaltenders who were inconsistent at best in the playoffs last year. So you knew that was a hole, but you rolled with what you had. And now you're riding a kid like Nico Dawes who isn't ready for it. And you're just putting him you're put him in the line of fire. So what's going to happen is, if nothing happens by the deadline, which the closer we get to it, I don't think that they're going to get Markstrom. I don't think they're going to get him this year. But I think, like I said last week, I think that whole trade between them, Calgary, and Dallas was kind of like a layoff plan. Like, let's put him on layoff or layover, whatever you call it when you reserve something at a store. Like, they put him on layaway, right? And then they're going to layaway. Thank you. Thank you. I'm sitting here in Chicago O'Hare Airport on a layover. You got the layaway. You're in Macy's or whatever it is. You got it right. So I think that's what it is. I think they put him on layaway in case they can't get anything done this year, and they're going to revisit it. As far as I know, Markstrom is absolutely 100% frustrated with the Calgary Flames right now, and it's solely because that they came to him. They said, "Are you willing to go to the Devils?" He said yes, and then Calgary did not. Devils put out a fair trade. I don't know the exact details. It came down to money. Calgary refused to pull the trigger, and Markstrom has been vocal about it, that he's upset with the way the whole situation was handled. So I believe the Devils will at least get him in the offseason, if not by Friday, and then they're going to have to fill a couple more holes. They lost 2 big players this offseason, and they need to fill those holes. So that's what's going to happen. I think, if they don't make the right moves by the deadline, then they're kind of just mailing in the season, giving the guys the rest, the last 20 games of experience, hoping maybe they can come up with a run, but with no expectations of going anywhere out of the first round, which even if they get that wild card spot or third in the Metro, I don't think they get out of the first round. The East is just very strong. A lot of gritty teams with a lot of sandpaper that the Devils just can't match up with. Now, they brought the big dude over from Curtis something or other from Colorado. God, I can't remember his name right now. He's a big dude. He plays defense and forward. He's a terrible defenseman, so they play him on forward so he can lay the body and drop the mitts once in a while. That's the kind of size of physicality they need for certain games. So they're starting to do some things, but they're small things, and I think they're going to continue to be small things until the offseason. This offseason, like I've said, they have a chance to set themselves up to be a contender for the next 5 years. So this is the big offseason for them. I think last year they overachieved. A lot of people got way too excited. Now, a lot of people are disappointed because they are where they should be with what they did this past offseason, and Lindy Ruff was the guy to take the blame.
You made that statement, and the first thing I did was just point at myself, like, yep, I'd be the guy that got way too excited and now feeling pretty disappointed. But going to a game tomorrow, Thursday, they're 3-1 in the games I've attended so far this year, so hopefully we move that to 4-1.
And next year you get season tickets.
And yeah, if that was in my budget, I'd already have them.
Get them for upstairs then.
But yeah, I'm telling you, man.
Suite. I want a suite.
Okay.
Die on this hill suite.
All right. I'll do all I can for you, Fife. I'll explain to you.
As soon as we get big enough, we'll have our own suite.
Fife, by the way, I work with Anna Marie Loftus. She says hello, by the way. I told her I was gonna do a podcast with you guys.
That's
sweet. Tell her I said hi.
That's quite the name drop right there.
I was trying to drop a name.
There you go.
Dropped one.
Tell her I said hi.
I definitely will.
You sure did.
Well, you enjoy, my friend. Go Team Red.
Go Team Red.
Go Team Red.
If they win, they're in the finals. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Let's go, baby. I want a text after the game if you won, and if we don't hear from you, we'll know the end result. But
I just want you to lay someone out.
These old guys don't, because they don't want to get laid out either. Like nobody's trying to get
listen,
out.
buddy, I don't get laid. I don't.
Exactly. He does bro. Wife's a big dude. Take one of these 30-year-olds and put him on his ass, bro.
Fife knows, though. The problem at this age range is even if you're laying somebody out, you're still hurting 3 days later as well.
That's true, too.
So, yeah, like I said, in the playoffs, you play a little harder in front of the net, but and I don't get laid out.
We'll be pulling for you, our friend.
Yeah, so I'll text you after the game if we win. If I don't text you, it either means we lost or I'm getting drunk in the parking lot.
Oh, okay. All right.
Thank you.
All right,
Have a good one, guys.
Go get him.
Good
Enjoy.
luck, Fife.
You got it later.
And that was our good friend, Mr. Eric Pfeiffer. Nice to get his opinion. Nice to get him on for a couple minutes here with us.
I'm just glad he's not in Jersey, so he can't slap me with a tortilla as well if things don't go my way.
Well, he's in Jersey. He's just in a little further south. He's
Oh, right.
down-
That's right.
Down by the shore. But to go back to that breaking news you had, you guys got any thoughts on Jamal Williams or Jamal Adams? Not
Quandre
Jamal
Diggs,
Williams. That's two different people.
The Quandre Diggs cut
Diggs.
surprises me more. The Jamal, see, now you got me saying. The Jamal Adams cut, I mean, basically he's a glorified he's a linebacker playing safety. They blitz him, they use him to defend the run. You can't trust him in coverage.
And he's always hurt.
So I'll be honest with you, if I had to guess, he'll probably end up in Washington because Dan Quinn loves safeties that play linebacker. That's what Dallas has had the last couple of years. It's the reason that they get gashed in the run game. And don't let me. I'm not going to go down the Cowboys rabbit hole because they are not a storyline right now. And screw Jerry Jones, he doesn't deserve the press. Anywho, but yeah, the Quandre Diggs cut it. That one surprises me more, and obviously it's a cap casualty, but that one surprises me. And some team out there is going to get a pretty good corner. But the running backs, we touched on this briefly when we talked about Saquon, right? And when you think about, and we mentioned some of the running backs that didn't get tagged. I don't want to say the word collusion, but to me, basically what NFL owners are going to do.
You know what? Well, I got a tinfoil hat over here for you. You sure you don't want to?
Are you ready? Like, literally, to me, the NFL owners are like, well, we're going to let all these big names go, and we're going to basically set the new market for running backs moving forward. And I think what Eric mentioned before is pretty spot on, minus the fully guaranteed based off of who they are, injury history, whatever. For the most part, though, I think that $6 million a year number is right around where running backs are going to come in, and you're going to see Pollard and Barkley and Eckler and Josh Jacobs and all these big name running backs. They're all either going to have to decide their playing careers are over, or they're going to have to take these short, lower paying deals if they want to keep playing and make their money. I think you're going to see the running back market get completely reset this offseason with all these guys out there.
100% agree. I think that is the most wide open market, and there's nobody out there that's going to be overpaying for him. Other than, did I see that Aaron Jones, did he get tagged?
No,
he
Green
didn't.
Bay asked him to take a pay cut or they're going to cut him.
Yeah.
Oh, so
Because he's what, 28, 29? He's up there in age now.
The guy they're letting test free agency is AJ Dillon.
Yep.
Mr. Thunder Thighs.
Yo, can I just say this? Eric's
Well,
going
what
to kill me for saying this.
no.
I really want to see Saquon go to the Cowboys and just stick it to the Giants. I really, really honestly do. Because he will be with a good quarterback. I'm not saying Daniel Jones isn't a good quarterback, but he'll be with...
Sucks.
He
sucks.
He's not a good
He
quarterback.
sucks. That's why I brought up the Russell Wilson comparison before, because I can tell you I'm not a Daniel Jones fan.
Dude,
I don't think he's very good.
If you honestly put Saquon with that offense, good luck, bro. Good luck. Because I really think that's what the Dallas offense
But I got to be
was
honest,
missing
you
this
have
year.
it already with Pollard.
Pollard's not Saquon. Pollard is not Saquon. Pollard wasn't even Zeke this year. They missed the power running game.
Well, no, what they missed is the two-headed running back. They had Zeke and then Pollard came,
Correct.
and there was a change of pace type thing. They worked the two-back
Dude.
system real well, and Pollard benefited heavily from it.
Saquon in Dallas, bro, would be serious. Serious.
I'm not denying it, but at the same time, I wouldn't like it.
I get it.
I'm not going to
just
root
saying.
for that outcome, I can tell you that.
No. I know you're not going to root for that, but I think him would be so sick.
But what do you think his... okay, so are we going to agree that he is the best of all the running backs out there?
Yes, I will say
I'm
that.
taking him or Josh Jacobs.
Correct.
Eckler
What would
third.
you pay them per year,
I'd go
knowing that
Henry
a
second,
tag would
third,
be...
Probably.
Who?
Henry? Derrick Henry's out
Oh,
there, too.
shit. Derrick Henry's a free... Damn, I didn't even think
I know
about
Derrick
it.
Henry is probably what you might want in your running back, but I think Saquon would be a superstar.
But what would you pay him? That's the question. That's the magic number of you saying reset the market. Where does it get reset to? Because I look at it and I think that's where I went with my number before. I think $6 million for Barkley. I think that's fair if you're giving him 3 years, because I think that takes him to 30. I think that's a fair enough deal. If you wanted to say maybe
they'll do 3 for 30 with 16 guaranteed, but I can't see these guys going from making the tag at 12, 11 million just taking a $6 million. Like that's half a pay.
But if they guarantee it, see that's the thing is it's guaranteed money versus versus not guaranteed. Could be guaranteed. It's a difference. So to me, I'm gonna take the guarantee. Because in this way, I'm hurt, I'm whatever, you cut me, whatever it is, I'm getting paid that money.
Yeah, that's true.
So I want the guarantee. I want those years, those 3 years. To me, the 3 years is worth more than getting a 1 year tag from the Giants. Because you're getting that extra year worth $6 million. So yeah, you could take the 1 year now. If they tagged you again, take $12 million. But then that's $12 million for 1 year, and then you're gone. Yeah. They're never going to re-sign you for anything close to that. Outside of McCaffrey, nobody is worth that kind of money.
And that's the thing, too, right?
And he's probably not even worth what he's getting paid right now.
Without him, they wouldn't have made the NFC. They wouldn't have made the Super Bowl.
But in this market, he isn't worth what he's getting paid.
And that's the thing. McCaffrey is going to be the last running back you see making the kind of money at that position.
For now, at least.
And
could change.
Well, yeah, as the salary cap goes up and these teams get more money to spend, but when it comes down to the slice of pie that a running back is going to pull, the running back position is going to get the smallest slice of the pie. Outside, I mean, you got running back, tight end, linebacker. Those are really your 3 positions in the league that are on the bottom end of who's being paid. And with the way quarterback salaries are going, I mean, it's basically like looking at a business, right? A business is like, hey, your base salary is $40,000 because we got to pay our CEO $3 million, right? Like it's the same idea when you look at these teams. They're doing the exact same thing. They're prioritizing specific positions, and then they will go cheap as hell for the positions that they don't hold the value in. And no matter what the head coach thinks, what the coordinators think, and if you could have a coordinator that's an old school guy. I need a running back. I need a 3-down back. I need the hog molly. Like, let's go. The owner and the GM are gonna look at me and be like, I'm not giving a guy more than $6-8 million a year. It's just not happening. So make it work with the guy I get you.
Well, the league's also changed too. Every team basically uses 2 running backs. That's what also devalues the market. There is no workhorse back like a McCaffrey. There's not many teams that do that anymore.
Plus, it's a short-lived life for a running back because most of them, like we talked about, 27, 28's the cap. I think 28's that magic number.
Because it's like too many touches.
They're getting in the league at 21. They got that rookie deal takes them 4 years. Then they get tagged. That's a 5th year. You're looking at a guy like Barkley. He's coming up on that 26, 27. He never got a chance to get out of that rookie deal, really. So thankfully, he was drafted as high as he was, made the money he did early. But a lot of other guys aren't that lucky, and they're not going to get paid, and nor will they ever get paid. And it's a position where you beat your body. Mm-hmm. It's a hard position to play because it's very, very physical. Whether you're blocking, whether you're running, there's a million things you could be doing. You gotta have your head on a swivel. It's not easy, and that to me, it's crazy how devalued the position is.
Mm-hmm. There's not even going to be a running back probably taken in the first round this year.
There's a plethora of them, and that, like you said, none in the first round, probably, or very little, if any. One, maybe two.
I mean, if there is a guy or two out there that teams have a first round grade on, they'll probably take them. I mean, I was shocked to see Bijan Robinson and Jahmyr Gibbs go in the top
in the teams, right?
But then you saw what they could do.
But exactly,
Bijan, you really didn't.
So
so Gibbs could do
the healthy scratch, yeah. But if you think about it though, they have these guys now where they're going to have them for 4 years. They can pick up the 5th year option, and then you can franchise tag them 2 years in a row.
And that's their career, basically.
Exactly. And like you said, these guys will never get a chance to hit the market. I'm telling you. I do not want to sit here and act like collusion is a thing in the NFL, but it fucking is. And these NFL owners are all going to get together, just like the running backs got together last year And you're like, oh, well, we got to band together and we can't let the owners treat us like this. And blah, blah, blah. Like, sorry, dude, you're part of a huge union. You can't separate your position into its own union. Not going to happen because they'll find other guys to play running back. So when you look at it, the owners will probably all get together and, on the side, nobody will know about it. And they'll be like, all right, what should we set the market for running backs? And they'll probably say $6 to $8 million per year, no more than that. Guarantee no more than half the contract. Easy out after year 2, we're done. And that's what you will see offered to running backs. Even some of these guys that are great players, they're not going to get huge deals. And it sucks for them, but it's also one of those things that when you think about it, right? Like growing up as a kid, you want the running back was who you wanted to be, right? Like especially for our age group, right? The Barry Sanders and Emmitt Smith and like the guys you got to watch play football and the glory that they got. And they were usually the guy that was most likely to score the touchdowns and like all this shit. Now as a kid, if you grow up and your coach is like, oh, I want you to play running back, you're like, I don't want to play running back. I want to play quarterback. I want to play wide receiver. I want to play corner. I want to play defensive end.
Or you want to be somebody like a Deebo Samuel that says, Coach, you know what? I'll get in the backfield, but I also want to split out wide. I also want to. I want to be a playmaker on the outside. Like I don't mind getting back here sometimes because again, Deebo can do it all. Like Deebo, we've seen it now for a couple seasons with him, and phenomenal athlete. So you may see more athletes doing roles like that where they'll say, you know what? All right, I'll get in the backfield. I mean, kick it way back old school, back when we were in high school. That was like you could do that with like Johnny Morant. Like you just
my God.
Put him in like if things weren't working with the pass game, just put him in the backfield and hand him the ball. He was a man amongst boys.
That's so great.
I mean, just to give you the comparison, I know you guys would know. Like that's
so good.
Yeah, we had what was it, Anthony Smith? Was that
No, we had Clarence Curry. Anthony Smith was before Clarence, but
right, yeah, we had.
But
Clarence,
we weren't in school with Anthony.
Yeah,
Smith.
we weren't. No, Clarence was a senior when we were
correct.
Freshmen.
Yep.
So. I remember when he made it to the NFL. Bro. I put him on my Madden team just so I could be like, I went to high school with that guy. I never gave him the ball once. I think his career with my team was 2 years, and he had 0 catches and no yards.
Yeah, we had 2 because Johnny made it, and RJ made it as well.
Oh, RJ made it too.
He
I didn't know that.
Out of UMass,
That's cool.
He made it as well. I'm not sure if he was drafted or made it undrafted, but he did. I remember he was on like the Giants awesome. Practice squad. I know he did all right. Like
That's
especially for his size, like he had the heart though. That was the thing about him. He had the heart. But
Johnny Morant, that's an awesome name right there.
That's a whole other.
That's
rabbit.
That's great.
That's a whole other rabbit.
That's 20-something years ago.
Right? I mean, that's how old we are.
Yeah, let's
Dude,
keep this moving.
Hold on.
Or I'll slap you with a tortilla.
We are older than Jason Kelsey. And he just retired. Terrible.
And he retired with more money than the 3 of us will see combined in our lifetime.
Well, that's different. He was a athlete. But.
Yeah.
So to not end on a depressing note, like holy shit, man. It is what it is. Can't go back and do it over again, so you make the most of what you got in front of you. But no, that's pretty awesome. I mean, like their podcast is quite entertaining.
It is.
I heard Travis Kelce telling the story about how when the Cowboys interviewed him, and they were like, "Well, we're concerned about some of your off the field incidents that you had when you were younger," and he's like, "Then don't draft me. I don't want to play for you anyway." So they went with Gavin Escobar, who, rest in peace, passed away at a very young age. He was a pretty decent tight end for the Cowboys, nowhere near what Travis Kelce's been. But he was a pretty decent player for the Cowboys. But he never got a second contract with Dallas, and I think his second contract in the NFL was only like a 2-year deal. I think he only ended up having like a 6-year career. So, but I just thought that was funny that he literally looked at them and he was like, "Well, don't draft me. I don't want to play here anyway." And it was like, good job.
Speaking of drafts and ending on a high note. Oh yeah. Oh no.
Oh yeah. On a high note, how about that Caitlin Clark?
Oh wow, yeah. No, that actually is a great way to put a bow on tonight, man.
Right? You want to talk about something positive? You want to talk about something fun? Caitlin Clark, Iowa, sets the NCAA scoring record, not the women's record.
No.
Sets the
all-time record.
Sets the all-time record, passing Pistol Pete Maravich, which will bring us to the last thing we're going to talk about really quickly today. But I just thought that was really fun. Like, again, taking the logo shot to get the other record, or to do what she did
to set the women's record.
Yeah, to set the women's record. But again, I think that she deserves it. I think she, earned it, and good for her, man. Like,
I was not expecting
this.
this. I'm not gonna lie.
No, good for her. She's gonna be the number one pick. She's gonna be an NBA star WNBA star right off the bat, and she deserves all of that praise that she's getting. And I hope she comes in the league ready. I hope that she performs well. And to be honest, like, Pistol Pete's record stood for a long ass time, and records were meant to be broken. I'm sorry. Eventually, all records were meant to be broken. That's why they were set to begin with.
Not 100% true.
No?
Not 100% true, and I only say this because we've been talking about it a lot today. Emmitt Smith's career rushing yard record will never be broken.
Oh, come on. That's the one you're going with?
How can
That's
I not?
the one you're going with?
How can I not?
If anything, you say Cal Ripken, because no player is ever going to play the amount of games that man played in a row ever again.
That's true.
Ever again.
I won't argue with that either. But Emmitt Smith, we've been talking about running backs for the majority of our show today. It's not right if we're going to talk about records being meant to be broken. Emmitt Smith's rushing yard record will never be broken. It just won't. How is it going to happen with the way the league
he was
trends?
a rare running back that had longevity. The only other one that you've seen with longevity is, I think he's number 3 all time. You guys could correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't Frank Gore up there?
I believe.
Well, that's more longevity.
But that's longevity.
Yeah, and that's what Emmitt had. I mean, the year after he broke the record, Dallas.
Joey don't like our longevity.
No, I don't. Only because back when Emmitt, Barry, Walt, they played until their 30s. They played in their 30s. These guys today,
Barry didn't.
He retired at 30.
Yeah,
he
retired earlier than I think most people would say he should.
And in today's NFL, are you giving a majority of running backs, a 30-year-old running back, a contract?
No.
Probably not.
No.
Majority of them aren't getting it. So that's why I'm saying back then they
had the opportunity.
Yes.
To.
Although I'd argue a little bit with Frank Gore that I feel like he just lasted. He was willing to take the cheaper deals. Like he took a lot of team friendly deals to be able to keep playing.
If we're being honest, the person they call Frank Gore Jr. is actually Frank Gore.
His son.
If you've ever seen a picture of his son, it looks identical to him, and I'm pretty sure it actually is him. And he's going to go into the NFL and keep playing because the guy just doesn't stop. He's like the Energizer Bunny. But back to Caitlin Clark, amazing job. I found out today she shot. So a lot of people were like, well, she had the 3-point shot, right? Like that's a big, helper to catch up in all-time points. She apparently shot 470 something less free throws than Pete Maravich shot.
Damn.
And she apparently had
she had a ton more threes,
like 200 to 300, but she also had apparently like 200 or 300 less field goal attempts.
But all because of the 3-point shot.
But I'm just saying, 400 and something less free throws and 200 or 300 less field goal attempts. Pretty sure it's fair to say that balances itself out.
Yeah. Again, I'm not taking anything away from her. She earned it.
And I always laugh because I remember when I was younger, I'd always be like, "There's no girl that could beat me in basketball." Caitlin Clark would mop the floor with any person I ever played basketball.
The first time I realized I knew that watching women's basketball, I knew a woman could kick my ass on the court was Dana Taurasi.
Diana.
She was phenomenal. I think she could have years ago. I thought I was a proponent of. I think she could have played in the NBA. I think she was that good that she could have been listen, I don't think she would have been a superstar in the NBA, but I think she could have went and played in the NBA and been a productive player.
I mean,
I really do. I think she had that kind of skill.
Rules and the lack of an ability to play physical. Well, I think some women could rock in the NBA.
But to go back to Caitlin Clark, and we talked about Pistol Pete Maravich, and we hear about all these nicknames. 11 years ago today, on Sports Zone, we did top 10 sports nicknames.
Oh, cool.
Oh my God.
That's
And we
funny.
each had our list and we posted it to Twitter.
That's
Oh
funny,
my
guys.
God. So what are we working with here?
So, in favor
That's
of that,
funny.
what would does Caitlin Clark have a nickname? And if not, what would her nickname be? 'Cause I don't know her by her nickname. I only know Caitlin Clark. I don't know if Caitlin whatever Clark. So, what do you think, Joey?
I don't know. Something to do with shooting. So, like, Caitlin the Dagger Clark? I don't know. Because she shoots daggers? I don't know. I have no clue.
Oh, that's a hard one to do on the spot.
Caitlin,
Well, yeah, hold on. To go over our list,
superstar.
to go over our list real quick of top 10 nicknames in sports. My list real quick. I had the Babe,
Babe Ruth.
Babe Ruth, Magic Johnson, Yogi.
I think.
I mean, you're gonna-
I think you just say the nicknames and we know who
You're
they
gonna
are.
know, but that's how iconic my list is that I'm just Tiger, the great one,
Oh, Wayne.
Primetime,
Oh,
Dion.
Sweetness,
that's a good one.
the Big Hurt,
You really put the Big Hurt? Frank Thomas. All right.
Broadway Joe, and Dr. J. And that's what this was 11 years ago, so this is pre any recent nicknames that have come out. Just to give people a heads up.
All the nicknames
I just thought it
today
was fun
suck,
because
though.
it just popped up today. So it was, but Dave's list real quick. His airness, which I
Nice.
just think should have been
Nice.
air.
Nice.
not
I
his
mean, I'm
airness.
sorry, but like literally,
it
like
probably is
your
air, but-
royalty. His
The
airness.
second one I love, the Minister of Defense. You know who that is?
I forget. Oh, that's Reggie White.
Reggie
yes, sir.
White. Yes, it is. The third one is my favorite and was actually a nickname of mine that like my dad would give me for when I would play PAL basketball. The Round Mound of Rebound.
Charles Barkley, baby,
that's
the
Barkley?
round mound of rebound.
Oh yeah, I love
That
it.
was Barkley's
never-
nickname. In
But
his
that was
prime.
me as a kid. I was
I'm
a big
thinking
like
Dennis Rodman.
I was in the post. I was rebounding.
Oh,
My
he was
dad
the
would go
worm.
call me the
Barkley.
round
That's
mound of
another
rebound.
one.
The
Dennis
worm.
Rodman, the worm. We didn't know what was
Oh
that.
wait, so then you had the mailman,
Not Carl. Yeah.
the bus,
Jerome.
Megatron.
He was so
One
good.
I think you would like to take back and kick off the list if you could, for sure. Durantula.
He doesn't even go by that anymore.
Yeah.
That's why I think Dave would want to
Yeah,
remove
no.
that. But at the time,
At the time, it was cool.
Jesus Shuttlesworth,
Oh, that was Ray Allen?
Ray Allen.
I love that one. That one.
And this one, another one I think you might take back, although I love it, love the movies myself, but Kung Fu Panda. That was Pablo Sandoval.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right. Pablo Sandoval.
I started real strong. I fell off
Yeah,
a
you
little
did.
bit. Like the Minister of Defense, like the fact that Reggie White was such a scary man on the football field, and then when he retired was literally a minister at churches. Like that's what he did.
And
That's
one-
like,
we actually had a listener who wrote in a little, like, omissions of ours. And one of those being Pistol Pete Maravich.
No way.
Mean Joe Green.
Nice.
Shoeless Joe Jackson.
Why is he shoeless?
Dizzy Dean, although I'm like, I think that's a little, but again,
That's old.
it,
These are old
coming
so far.
from where it's from, yeah. Catfish Hunter, the Mr. Cub Ernie Banks. This one I really like. Stan the Man.
Stan the Man Musial.
And Scooter. Phil Rizzuto.
Phil Rizzuto, yeah.
So, I mean, there was Carl's dad. My
okay.
buddy Carl, my buddy Tim, who's going to be doing a podcast with me very shortly as well. He's coming up from Florida. I'm going to be going to Florida, so
Oh, that's cool.
we're going to be doing some stuff. But yeah, their dad wrote in after listening to our show that day live
That's sick.
and wrote in his list. So I just thought that was a really cool
That
memory
is-
from 11 years ago.
That's
So
cool.
you wanted to end on a positive note, my friend, and that's what we do here.
We ain't on a high note.
One thing I will say about Caitlin Clark, I hope she like kind of transforms the WNBA, gets a little more buzz into it because yeah, the WNBA needs it. It really does. I kind of hope she shakes up the league the way Steph shook up the NBA.
I mean, that game where she broke the record had the second highest ratings of all broadcasted television that day.
Holy crap!
Yeah, it's the first time women's basketball has been that high in ratings ever.
No, yeah, and listen, she deserves all the credit she's getting.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
kicking
Yeah,
ass,
she is.
taking names, and do it while you can because you never know. It's pro sports; anything can happen. Do it while you can. Have fun doing it too. It looks like she has fun out there on the court. So with that, I think that's about going to wrap it up. So where can people find you there, my friend Dave?
David Hastings 23, and that would be on X. I'm getting better now, not saying Twitter. So you find me David Hastings 23 at X, at David Hastings 23 on X. Boom.
I am at The Living Legend on Twitter. We are at Die on This Hill on YouTube. If you like what you heard today, or even if you didn't, share, subscribe, follow, and as always, don't be afraid to have an opinion. And die on this hill.